We have this rendering that has also shown that some of them have realized that they cannot win this war. Nobody can.
He added that the successes recorded was as a result of the internal fight between the factions of the terrorists and the renewed tactics of the military in combating the insurgents. Recovered AK-47 rifles, G3 rifle and a locally made pistol, assorted ammunition as well as local charms. Briefing newsmen at the police state headquarters in Makadi, the state commander of operations under CPS Justin Gabi Randai explained that the bandits were ambushed on their way to attack a village following an intelligence. According to Gabi Randai, unknowing to the bandits, all their calls had been tracked by the intelligence unit and were carefully followed up as they executed plans on how to attack the village. He said aside from those killed, many escaped with gun wounds.
The operation was basically intelligence-led operation. It's a kind of intelligence-led policy being introduced by the new Inspector General of Police, Baba Alikali. And actually, we've been tracking them for a very long time. I've been trying to do some intelligence analysis, data analysis. At the end of the day, we were able to lay ambush on them when they were out to come and attack unsuspecting members of the public. And this one would have been deadly attack because they intend wiping out a whole community whom they claim was giving the police or the security agencies information against them.
Benue State Governor Samuel Otom, who was at the police headquarters to catch a glimpse of the bandits in company of Senator Swam, commended the Inspector General of Police and the Police Commissioner and Benue State Command Operation Zender. The CP Gabin Rai assuring that
secondly, no meaningful development. And these young boys who are seen here have sent several people to their early graves. Industrious people, farmers, they do not care about them being deceived by this fetish talisman and all over the place. You can imagine, this is what is deceiving them.
The Inspector General of Police, IGP Usman Akali, has confirmed an upgrade of the Nigerian Police Force crime reporting mobile application, the NPF Rescue Me. The Acting Force Public Relations Officer, CPS Olumuyiwa Adejobi, made this known in a statement on Saturday in Abuja. He said the application was designed for effective report of emergencies, criminal activities, and professional misconduct of police officers to ensure rapid and immediate response by operatives of the force. Adejobi said that the NPF Rescue Me app was improved to redefine security and personalize policing by enabling Android and iOS users to download the app from various app stores. According to him, the step is for the public to register with their details and have access to a variety of features, including emergency services, crime reporting, navigation, and ambulance services. This is the flag of ceremony of indigenous survey and charting and security. The Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Awal Zabwaru Gambo, spoke on the creation of jobs and economic viability it will bring to a nation.
But to the Chief of the Naval Staff, that if there's anything we can do with the hydrographers, I say it in public so that my colleagues in the ministry will hear it now and not say put it in writing. But I also put it in writing. That I have discussed with the Chief of the Naval Staff to say that, especially NIMASA and MPA, the safety of the water is also part of a responsibility by law. The implication is that if the Navy does not...
Hydrographic Office survey and produced charts for navigation. Pertinently, the two main survey equipment used then by the British surveyors were handheld lead line and sextant for depth measurement and positioning and fixing respectively. As effective as these surveys were then, technological advancement in shipbuilding over time has made the use of survey equipment obsolete, ineffective and inadequate for chart production considering the volume of traffic transiting in the maritime commons. Regrettably, the nautical charts and publications produced with these survey data still form the bulk of aids to navigation that supports over 4,000 ships that call at Nigeria's waters and ports.
Delta State government has made a U-turn over the sale of Ogara Independent Power Plant following the fire incident which occurred at the site. The Commissioner for Information, Charles Anyagu, said instead of the government, the approved lease-to-own contract. He made this statement while briefing journalists on the outcome of the State Executive Council meeting that was presided over by Governor Ifeanyi Okowa in the Government House, Asaba. Anyagu said ESCO took the decision of lease to own instead of the outright sale as early advised to ensure that the state government gets value for its investment in projects. The Ogara IPP project in Ethiopia, West local government area of the state, was convened to generate about 100 megawatts of electricity to boost power plant or power supply in the state.
Delta State Independent Power Plant at Oareki. So at today's session, we approve the principle of a lease to own, not outright sale as we are advised before now. So what we have done now is lease to own, so that the lessee will now have to operate it, fix it, bring it to a state where it will work, and then begin to pay some amount of money to the state government for a period of time. The construction of Ododo Road from Kubo Junction, that is in Ugili North, was also approved. It's a road that is going to be phased because of its length, but what was approved is about 2.5 kilometers that will be able to take it to one of the major town communities in that particular place.
4 young men and an elderly woman have been killed in a ghastly accident on a coal bridge in Ward Constantine in Lagos. The Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA, said a Toyota Camry with registration number EPE 583GT and a Lexus car rammed into each other. The accident has been blamed on reckless driving.
Some other party should take over, because PDP has been ruling for a very long time. APC has also been ruling for a very long time. And let me just say, they are all based on the same feather. So they should give opportunity to other party to rule.
It's not about political party. It's where do we get a good leader. That's our problem. So we don't care about whether PDP or APC. If you look at the attitude of our politicians, you could see somebody from APC would come to PDP because of his own interest. You see somebody from APC would come to PDP because of his own interest. So our problem is not about the political party, it's about leadership. Anywhere good leader come, it is welcome.
Please, APC, leave us alone. Please, I'm begging you people, leave us alone. Please, not by force. So. They are the same people now, from this party to this party. Let just the youth or young somebody take over. Let all these old men leave us alone. Look at how we are stressing ourselves, suffering. On this hot sun, every day by day. They should leave us alone. Leave us alone. I have my PVC already, Sha. I know what to do with it.
I don't think the party matters. What matters is the person in particular. I don't care about the party. I care about the person itself.
Today PDP, tomorrow APC. Me, I don't like all this kind of wahala. You don't too suffer for Nigeria. So we need another people may come.
This one will tell you this one. This one will tell you that when they are campaigning, they will promise you so things. They are going to make good, bring good school, food, good road, all this one. Nothing is working in this country.
I think we should try another political party. Maybe we will see difference.
These two parties, they are the same group of people. It's recycling. You understand? They keep coming up. If you do them bad in this party, they will come to the other party. It's the same person. So we need fresh people entirely, so that we'll be able to get it, see whether we can get it right.
And to other parts of Africa, the leader of an anti-immigrant protest movement in South Africa, which has gained momentum in recent months, was arrested on Thursday, police said. Nchala Lux Dalamini, a black activist in his 30s, was taken to Johannesburg Central Police Station for questioning. Dalamini is known in his community for parading around in a luxury sports car. He's also known for his public appearance, almost wearing military fatigues and a bulletproof vest. The arrest drew criticism from members of his movement who use social networks and social media who threatened to intensify their activities. Since January, demonstrations called to fight for the future of South Africans against migrant workers have been held regularly in several cities. Protesters have visited shops to demand that foreign employees accused of stealing South African jobs be fired. These rallies have so far led to tension but not violence. South Africa is periodically plagued by xenophobic attacks. 62 people were killed in riots in 2008. Violent clashes broke out in 2015, 2016, and again in 2019. And outside Africa, U.S. Special Envoy for Iran, Robert Malley, has said that he was not confident that the nuclear deal between world powers and Iran was imminent after 11 months of talks in Vienna. However, a senior advisor to Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Al-Khamenei, said a deal could come soon depending on the political will of the United States, which insisted that Iran's Islamic Revolution Guard Corps could not be listed as a terrorist group by the United States.
It's imminent, but it depends on the political will of the United States. It was the United States which withdrew from the deal. Real movement in economic cooperation between IRGC is a national army, and a national army cannot be listed as terrorist group. And certainly it is not acceptable. That is very important for Iranians.
To him, so I don't know what message he'll come back with. I hope it's a message that opens the door for that we're pretty close to deal. But we've been pretty close now for some time, and I think that tells you all you need to know about the difficulty of the issues that remain. But I could say the sooner we get back into the deal, which is in our interest, and we presume in Iran's interest, the more faithfully we implement it, and the more we could build on it to address other issues between us and Iran and between Iran and the region, the longer, the more sustainable, the more solid, and the more beneficial, mutually beneficial.
And in business news, the federal government says it has arranged a meeting for a proposed $1 billion investment in solar power. The proposed project, which is expected to generate 10,000 megawatts, has been installed since 2016. The government said it's expecting to see the result of the planned investment by 2023. These were announced by the special advisor to the president on infrastructure, Ahmed Zakari, via his Twitter handle. According to Zakari, the projects are expected to be a game changer in Nigerian electricity production. Furthermore, he explained that the presidency would continue to work on emergency measures to stabilize power. And to some entertainment news, multi-award-winning Nigerian singer Damini Ogunlu, popularly known as Burna Boy, has revealed that money does not give him satisfaction. Burna Boy said this on his official Twitter handle in the early hours of Saturday. The Grammy award-winning singer also claimed to be the highest-paid artist in African music history. On Friday, Burna Boy announced on his Instagram page that he was not going to be performing at the Afro Nation 2022 in Puerto Rico due to circumstances beyond his control. And in sports, Daniil Medvedev outplayed two-time winner Andy Murray 6-4, 6-2 in the second round of the Miami Open on Saturday. The reigning U.S. Open champions and world number 2 launched 4 aces in the first set and got the break at love in the third game as Murray, 3 years on from hip surgery, moved around the court with a slight limp. Murray, who notched up his 700th career win at the India-Wales 2 weeks ago, fended off the 2 break points in the 5th game of the second set, but Medvedev converted on his third chance as Britain fell trying to pivot along the baseline. Russian Medvedev converted again, the 7th, dropping just 2 of his first serve points in the set, and closed out the affair in just under 90 minutes at the Hard Rock Stadium. The win put Medvedev 3 points away from returning to the top of the men's ranking after he has lost his spot at the top following a stunning third round loss to France in India-Wales. And that's the news brief. For more stories, please follow us at PlusTvAfrica on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, and do subscribe to our YouTube channel at PlusTvAfrica and PlusTvAfrica Lifestyle. Many thanks for watching. I am Messi Bopo.
There is no voting on social media. To vote, you would require a permanent voter's card. To get your PVC, visit cvr.inecnigeria.org. Create your account with a valid email address and start the registration process. An activation link will be sent to you. Click on the link and activate your account. Fill out the form, pick and submit a convenient date and time for your biometrics. Print the application slip, which should have your QR code. On the appointed date, go to the nearest INEC office for your biometric capturing. Thereafter, you will get a registration slip to pick your permanent voter's card when ready. Get your PVC today. This message is from PlusTvAfrica.
Life can be fun and rewarding, but it also comes with some risk. As in business, you win some, you lose some. And that's why you need to be wise in the choices you make. It's like placing a bet. Again, you need to be wise. Wise in choosing an innovative platform with the highest market options and highest odds ever. That's why Winners Golden Bet, the leader in online, in-shop, virtual, and live sports betting, gives you enhanced platforms that offer you the best chances of winning. For betting on live soccer matches, live dog races, and virtual games. Winners Golden Bet is your best bet. Instant payment of winnings guaranteed. Play online or in any of our numerous shops nearest to you.
Hey guys, be wise. Play on Winners Golden Bet.
Winners Golden Bet, the wise choice.
My name is Adiola Onosonya, and here is my good old days reminiscences. I belong to a generation where respect, morals, and good conduct were celebrated. A generation that stands in gap between the not too old and the young. A generation that witnessed great decorum amongst youth before it took flight. I am talking of a generation of youth born in the mid and late 70s. I stand in for that generation that caught a glimpse of those good old days, but now buried in the glory of what we enjoyed while growing up. I am talking of a generation of youth who could at least speak their native language, Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, and other major Nigerian languages. Today, how many of our children can speak their native language, not to talk of their dialects? See what I mean? Those good old days keep haunting me and keep sending a sense of guilt to us who cannot keep the tradition of passing our native language to our children as our parents did. I was born into a disciplinarian family, Mr. Biodun Adesoye and Olabisi Aduke Badijo. I was taught to be dogged, industrious, faithful, thankful, and respectful to all people. My father, a banker, though was not always at home, but would ensure that during the weekends he would have prepared or assigned books to be read and to be summarized through the week. By the following weekend, you submit your written summary of that book you have read and defend what you have written orally too. We dare not neglect such assigned work. If we must be in his good books, yet he will still expect us to read our school's books and do well in class. That act helped me today to be a better speaker and be able to write well. Today, have we as parents not left such to lesson teachers and mates? How many parents actually take time off to know their children? The crave for wealth has deprived us of those cherished moments we grew up with. Sad. My good old days story will be half told without mentioning the role my father's cousin, the late Mr. Segun Badejo, popularly called SB, played in my growing up years. SB was the highest version of my father. He was blunt, fearless and outspoken than my dad. Whenever he paid us a visit, it was always a time to be reprimanded and disciplined with nobody pleading on your behalf. Even my mom and dad would have no say. He taught us how to greet as a boy and a girl in our culture. We can't kneel halfway and go scot-free. As a boy, you must prostrate well, a thoroughbred custodian of our culture and heritage. How many of our children today prostrate or kneel down to greet elderly ones, including we, their parents? Are we actually not missing something here? Those good old days we speak fondly about, were we not dutifully complying to those customs and traditions? Where and how did we miss it? Today, parents give excuses on behalf of their children who hurt. We have sadly created a nuclear family that do not accommodate other members of the extended family in the area of discipline, counseling, and decorum. Where did we get it wrong? We talk about the good old days because the present presents less to celebrate. However, all hope is not lost. With a will, we can change the narrative. We can reverse the trend and make our children too have a full dose of what we went through. Our children certainly deserve a brighter and better tomorrow, not the memories and stories of the good old days. We can, in our own area of influence, in our little corner of control, begin to make the difference for the sake of our children's tomorrow. Yes, we can. It is a great pleasure to have this golden opportunity to be counted amongst those who voice out when it is utmostly needed. I therefore proudly join Sir Segun Badejo in this collective drive towards a greater tomorrow. Thank you.
Increase the reach of your events or business services. To advertise on Plus TV Africa, please call 0906 000 5719 or 0909 040 8408 or send an email to marketing@plustvafrica.com. Plus TV Africa. Big stories live here.
It's TW Conversations again, and we're back in the lounge. This time we're here to talk about matchmaking. What has it become? Is it still what it was in the 70s or 60s? So, with me in the lounge today are these beautiful ladies. Hello! Hi. We have Omoye, the actress, media person, Instagram fam. Not quite. And then we have Fumi, the investor that was a chartered accountant that now does like so many things, manages people's money and all of that. She does all those professional things. Then we have the coconut woman, like I would call her. She's a serial entrepreneur. She is so good at everything. Then, of course, we have Adesua.
Yeah, sitting by the side of Ebon.
Producer. Of course, TW Magazine editor. So we have this interesting conversation that we're going to have today. Please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after the break.
Yes, sadly, the person that made us start talking about this, Dion, is not here. I don't know why she chose this topic, but because we are sure that we don't want to be too many on the set and crowd your ears, Dion has gracefully stepped aside to let us talk about it. That's the topic she wanted to do. And personally, let me share my personal experience. I have 3 kids who are over 27. And I've started wondering, how on earth are they going to find partners? They work so late, and I'm beginning to worry, maybe I should find the kind of boy that my daughter should marry and introduce them, or the kind of girl that my daughter should marry. And I'm beginning to think, because I'm sure that there was a time in our lives, I know, when photographs were sent across the seas. This is your wife. And it worked, and the marriages lasted. I don't know whether that would be sensible today.
Do you know what they want? Have you ever thought about the kind of partners that you want? Or the one you want is what you're trying to impose on them?
Who doesn't know your child? I know what is good. I know what is good. I want a girl that can cook or a boy that can cook. Wow. You know what I mean? Yeah. A boy that will hit her. Yeah. And you know, in those days, you say, when you're going to marry, you go and check whether they have madness in their family. So I would have done all the research.
Any other illness.
Or what relevant research in today's world? All the relevant research in today's world, because there's our real lives and there's our online lives.
Then there's a third life, one that nobody knows about.
Yes.
Well, that's always there. Well, I think that's always there. But at the risk of sounding like somebody from past generations, I believe in matchmaking.
So do I.
You see, 2 different generations. This is her 30s, this is her 60s, and yet they believe in matchmaking.
I do.
I believe in matchmaking. Oh, they just match-made Meghan Markle and the Prince.
No,
have you heard of that?
Was that
Blind date is matchmaking.
Wait, tell me.
That's how it happened. Somebody who knew both of them, thought they would get on, then set up a blind date, and I have heard her at interview talk about it. They met, and they just talked for hours. And then the next 2 weeks, they were talking. And the next thing, he invited her to Botswana for his next trip. How would he have met her if this nice middle person didn't say, I think you would
I'm
get
curious
on?
to know what Omoye thinks, Cha. Because Omoye is in the market. We are not in the market again. Would you take kindly to someone maketh you?
Where is Dion?
We
missed
her,
right? I don't know why I'm here. So when you say matchmaking and you point out this example, it sounds okay because it was a simple introduction. It wasn't, to be honest, that person didn't plan for them to marry.
Well,
what are you talking about?
Whoever match makes,
when they hook you up, they're not planning.
Whoever match makes cannot force marriage.
No. But Omoye hasn't answered my question. You would let her answer.
I'm a bit here and there about matchmaking. Now, if you know of somebody who's a great guy and you think we'll get along, I'm open to meeting them. I'm open to that. Just don't let... You know, there was a time, maybe a few years ago, I'd say I don't like hookups. And I don't know
whether there's a difference.
Just explain.
What is hookup?
So,
I don't know either.
Okay, so you know this guy, and you tell him, I have a friend who's lovely, I think you'll like her. Then you come and meet me and say, oh my, I have this friend, I think he's amazing, you like him. And then we're supposed to meet. I feel like a very important step in what should be a relationship is
you know, and
what time do you have?
Several years. I haven't met.
You're always on set.
I'm always on set.
This is why I ask you. You know, the way we do things is just so connections has to change, and that's really what it is. Because if you look at your network when you're a child, you exhaust it. You move to secondary school, you exhaust it. You go to university, you exhaust it. When you get to the point where you need to meet someone, it's either you go back to all of those networks, those bubbles that you've had all your life, or you create a new one, which is where, you know, the dating apps and things like that come in. And my brothers and I have been working on an amazing one called True Flutter. You should all go check it out.
Okay. Your brother married?
One is married.
Is he going to get his wife?
One is married, one is single. One is married, one is single. But my brother-in-law has met a lovely young lady on this platform.
Is he going to marry her?
True Flutter.
Is he going to marry her?
Very serious relationship. And I'm telling you, the thing about True Flutter is it's really about serious relationships.
Okay, no.
That is not, you know,
enough
of True Flutter.
Yeah. I'm wondering, though, I mean, and you got married recently. When did you introduce to your husband yourself?
No, we bumped into each other on our own.
How did you meet?
I was going into, oh my goodness, I was going into, we met at church. So I was going for...
In church? Oh my God.
So I was walking, we met at the car park actually. So we were both walking into church at the same time. It so happened that we sat beside each other. So we met on our own. He stole my email because it wasn't like church. It was workers' meeting. You're supposed to join the workforce or something. So I wrote my email and then he stole it and then he sent me an email.
And at that point, you had never seen him in that church?
No, I had never noticed him in that church. No, I had never seen him.
If somebody had tried to matchmake both of you, would you have?
So I have tried, I've done this whole, I don't see the difference in a matchmaker and a hookup. For me, they're the same. Maybe one just sounds a bit, I don't see the difference. Yeah, one just sounds
semantics.
A bit, yeah.
Semantics.
Exactly, I think that they're the same. Someone has hooked me up and then, one of the downsides I will see to it is that people feel this guy should be a certain type of person. I made an assumption. So I went in dating and then, I remember her calling me just because she had hooked me up. In her mind, she had given me bobo, so therefore she can call me and demand whatever she wanted. So she calls me and tells me, oh, and I'm getting married. The traditional wedding was holding the East or something and it's going to take 5 days. I want you to be there for 5 days. I literally said to her that I just got a job. I cannot leave for 5 days. And she said, oh, really, you cannot? Where else is that coming from? So you've given me a husband. Now you can call me and say whatever you want.
That's funny though. The fact that you're hooking somebody, up, does it mean that you are looking at the person as husband material?
To an extent.
The obvious. Yes. No, but to an extent. You do know what I say about matchmaking and if I was introducing two people. I don't want to be responsible for the happiness or unhappiness of two people.
Yes.
So even if I was, let me borrow your language, even if I was hooking two people up, I would not let them realize I was really hooking them up. I would try not to let them know that that was the intention. They could both be invited to dinner at my place. And, you know, if two people met each other, we don't have to say to them, this one is good for you, and that one is good for you.
You know, my own feeling in life is, people are made...
You just let them meet.
When you talk about Mr. Right and Miss Right, people are made in molds. Where, for example, there's a particular mold of a guy that you want. It doesn't have to be one particular person. So I would definitely know the kind of person... I know Moye, for example, very artsy, very creative, strong, powerful woman.